What's going on, my friends? Welcome to another Vega 23 episode. Today, I am super excited to bring you a video packed with a bunch of information. And I'm especially excited because we're doing a truck for the U.S. Army today. They have the new Super Duty Ford F-250. So, we're going to be doing a vinyl across the doors, on the back window, the rear window, the other back window, and the front of the hood, and on the back of the tailgate. So I'm gonna show you guys a mock-up here of what this truck is gonna look like. I already took it a step ahead and I got the windows already cleaned up and the areas where we are going to be applying the vinyl. So let me show you that here in a second. And on other good news, today is our Christmas company party. So we're gonna be having dinner with the whole company at Oregano's tonight, which I'm super excited for. And we have a couple more news that I want to unveil here on today's video. But before we get to that, let's get started with the car wrap. Okay, so for the rear window, we have a bit of a problem here with this new modern style of cutout that they have on the rear windows. And I personally am not a fan of it. I would prefer to be all closed in or have the option where you can open the entire thing and not have this cutout, because already as is you can see markings on the glass from scratching on the weatherproofing or whatever's inside that is rubbing on, and I don't like that. So that could potentially damage the material in the future. They're gonna have to be redoing this part or keep this window closed for as long as possible. But without further ado, this particular job is for the U.S. Army, and I know they're always looking for more people to recruit. So I'm going to leave the website on the description, and you guys are going to see the information on the truck as we move along with this wrap. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. We're going to position it, and you're going to see here the process of how this is done. Okay, so this could potentially be a long video because I want to show you guys how I do this entire thing. And we have some good news here at the end of the video with some projects that we have currently going on here at the shop. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and install this. And the first thing I like to do is I just like to lay it out to see how this is going to fit. We want to make sure we have an even space on the top and bottom and the sides. Every time we do these perforated vinyls, we like to go about maybe an inch or two over the glass to make sure that we're not gonna be too short on material. And redoing this is not a lot of fun, even though it's not the most difficult thing to do. But you don't want to spend the time redoing something that you don't have to. All right, so right here we are about half an inch over and a little bit more than half an inch under. This is where the glass ends on the left side, and on the right side we can move over just a hair. So go ahead and move it over. Okay, get a full wrap. We can still go over another quarter of an inch, and we are past that side. We are past this side. We're about half an inch over on the top, and we're perfect. So that's the first step of applying a perforated vinyl, or in fact any type of application that you're doing for car wraps. This is the way that I do it, and I recommend anybody else that wants to do this to do the same thing. For this, I use a brand new blade every single time because I like a sharp cut. And I have this medium-sized squeegee with the plastic. It's not felt itself. It's kind of like a plastic rubber that glides on this without damaging the material. So I always recommend these, and obviously cleaning your area before you're getting started. So let's go ahead and tape this real well, because we're gonna tape this half, open the back, lay it, take the other half, take the backing, and then lay it over, so that we don't have to undo the entire thing and potentially ruin the material. All right, so make sure you secure it with tape. It's better to use the whole roll of tape because it's only $1 than to redoing the entire project, because that's going to cost you more time. And sometimes you don't have the time of the day for that. So, all right, so that is step one. Well, actually, step two. First one is cleaning, second one is laying it. Okay, so some people definitely like to use soapy water underneath these, and I understand why, because you have a little bit more room for error. But I've done this enough to where I feel pretty comfortable not needing that process. So this is the way I do it. I cut open the first half, and I like to tape it since I don't have help, just to hold it, and it gives me access to both hands so that I can cut this over on the back side. And you want to do it as straight as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect. From here, make sure you don't have any dust debris, because there will be dust debris. Okay, so here are the mock-ups. We have the front of the truck, the sides and the back, and then a different angle for the front. All right, so we're gonna take the side that we left stuck over here, and all you're gonna do is gently press on the squeegee to stick the perforated vinyl, and you want to have it even spread as you move up and down, so that you don't create bubbles or wrinkles in this situation with this type of material. This is a little bit more flexible than any other material, even though the car wrap with the air release technology is actually very easy to work with. As you guys saw, I didn't struggle at all. I'll bring the camera closer so you guys can see that there are no bubbles. So there's a closer look. There's no bubbles. It's stuck really, really well. Once I'm done, thankfully there's not like a plastic weather seal between the glass and the truck. So I'm gonna be able to run the blade against the edge, and it's gonna give me a clean cut once I'm done applying the whole thing. For the middle window, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna cut around it, and then I'm gonna stick it to the back middle window, and then I'm gonna use the tip of the blade to cut as close as I can, because there is a window seal in between that little window. So we're gonna do basically the same thing from here to the other side. I'm gonna pull it back from this corner, take the backing, and then just apply it as a move over to the right side of the window. It's always recommended, honestly, to try to go for the middle, and the reason why, it's because like right now, since I have this large gap and I don't have help, nobody's gonna be holding the other side, so I have to manage and figure out how to do that. Since I have pretty long arms, I'm able to do this with no problem. But if you don't have help, I always recommend to just make sure and take that into consideration. Now, I've never done one like this, so this could be a little tricky. I'm only gonna apply pressure around the square to make sure that it doesn't stick here. And I'll bring the camera in a little closer once I take out this square with the cutout, so you can see what I'm talking about, this edging that I'm gonna have to work with here in a second. So here's one thing that you can do. You can pull this back and not take it out all the way. So you're only gonna take out what you're using a little bit at a time. Just like that. So you're gonna feed it as you need it. There it is, feed it as you need it. The little bit of an issue that I'm having right now is that the bottom, it's a little bit longer than where the top of the bed is, so it's wrinkling down here. And this window is also not helping. So let me see what I can do here. I kind of like that it's warm, so it's making the material a little flimsy, so it's easier to work with. You also don't want to be stretching this material, because if you do, you're going to create those wrinkles that I was talking about earlier, and you enter the no fun zone when you do that. Okay, so right here, try to even this out. ¿Qué onda? Oh, nice. A ver.
U.S. government?
U.S. government. This is a gift for my friend Enrique. He always rocks the Bless the Barrio, so I made him a custom hat. If you guys want to support, I'll leave the link below for blessthebarrio.com. All right, there it is. We got the wrinkle out. We just have to take a little step back. There it is. Everything looks fine. This is where the window, let me see, this is where the window ends. So now that we have a flat surface, all we're gonna do is start squeegeeing over. And like I like to do it, I bring it back to make sure that we're nice and flat. And then from there, we just squeegee up and down. Make sure we tuck it in at the bottom so it doesn't cause those wrinkles. They gave us an issue earlier. Just like that. And from here, we're gonna proceed to cutting the edge. And that is actually my favorite part, because I like cutting edges. I want you guys to see the entire process. That way, if you run into a similar issue, you kind of can always refer back to this and use it as reference. Okay. So don't be scared if you got a little wrinkle in your material, because you can always pull it back as long as you're careful, and that shouldn't damage anything. This material is very forgiving. Although, with that being said, if you pull it the wrong way, you can rip it. So that's why I like to be careful when I'm managing this material, because it's perforated. If you pull it the wrong way, it will definitely rip. So just be careful. ¿Qué onda, Laura? For this truck? Well, this is pretty much ready. I just gotta cut out that middle window and the back is done. This is my favorite part. And this is why I like to have a brand new blade, because I don't want any wrinkles on the cut. Because if you don't have a new one, it could cause some problems. And it's cheaper to have a new one and have it done the right way than to redoing the whole thing by being lazy or cheap. All right, that's a little preview of what it's gonna look like. Let me work my way around this whole thing real quick. Cool. Let me know what you guys think. Now we're gonna do the middle of the window and hope that everything comes out perfectly looking fine, because that it's kind of annoying, new to me, but you know, we accept the challenge. So let's go ahead and get that going. Let's mark the edge of the glass here. Now we have to cut this off very carefully. You can't damage the material because this little square is part of the whole thing, and this is going to get attached to the window, so we need it to come out without damaging it. Okay, so before I cut the whole thing off, I know that this is where it's gonna lay because it's still attached. So I'm just gonna tap the center and cut the rest so that the material doesn't move on me. I don't want to have to reposition it if I don't have to. So there it is. The whole edge is cut off. Now we're gonna go ahead and apply it. All right, so we are wrinkle free once again. I want to make sure that that edge is nice and present because I have to run the blade along that edge, and there is a window seal. All right, here's another thing that I've never used is this little edging corner tool that's like a squeegee. So I'm gonna see if this can help me kind of present that edge a little bit more, so when I run the blade over, there's not like a gap in between the vinyl and the window seal itself. So that's gonna give me a cleaner look. And I'm also gonna show you how I like to finish off the edge, because there is a little trick to making it look cleaner. All right, that seemed to help. All right, so here's what I do. when I'm cutting off the edge of the window, I'm kind of like straight as I move along. But if you want to clean it up, you just have to angle it, and it cleans it up because it gets off that edge and it gives it like a sharp look. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can definitely see the material that I'm removing. So that is what I removed. And now the entire edge looks a lot cleaner. So now this is the interesting part, because I have to go in here and carefully use the corner of the blade to cut that off without damaging the seal itself. And if you ruin this part, it's not a big deal. Just go back and redo the whole thing, or at least this corner. Every time you have to be very careful. You have to be very patient with this. There's no rush. Take your time. I like doing this kind of stuff, so you know, for me it's not a big deal, but I can see how this could be scary for a lot of people, especially when you're getting started. I've always liked installing, so to me it kind of came naturally. So now with this tool, we're gonna tuck in that edge. Okay, so I'm gonna bring you in just a little closer so you can see this is how it looks after I cut it. And yes, that is okay. But if you wanted to make it look a little bit better, you just grab this tool and you tuck it in so it looks even more professional. Right, so we have successfully installed the rear window of this truck. There it is. You guys tell me what you think. I think it came out looking really nice. All the edges look nice, crisp, and clean. Now we're gonna do the two back windows. I have the material here, but I am not gonna board you with more installation. The rest is pretty simple. It's actually on the plain window. It doesn't have anything like that little center, so it should be fairly simple. Oh man, this truck is tall. Okay, so as you guys just saw, we finished wrapping the entire truck all the way around. It looks A1. To be honest, that job looks amazing. The truck looks US Army approved. There was obviously a lot of paperwork involved on their end before they got approval for us to do it. But when he came and looked at it, he brought one of his colleagues, and they were both just happy. They were happy, and you can tell they were excited to get the rest of the trucks done. They have two more, and two more that are out of state that we are potentially going to fly out to do them in the future. It seems very possible. He likes the idea of us going out there, flying out there, and getting them done instead of driving them all the way to Arizona for us to wrap them. So that's going to save them some money, and it's going to get us on the plane to fly out to wherever they need to get wrapped at. Well, that was that for the car wraps on the US Army. And the news that I have for you guys today is about our toy drive that we have currently going on until the 20th, because the 21st is the event where we're going to be, where we are going to be giving out the toys for our community of people that are in need. The way that's going to go down is we're going to have a line outside of the door. We're going to have the toys inside of the shop. And as people get in line, we're going to hand them a toy. They're going to move over to the station where we're going to have our own backdrop with the Christmas theme, have Santa Claus, the Grinch, a Christmas tree with toys. So the families can take their own picture for their memories. And then after that, they're going to move over to Barrio Taco Shop. So far, we have $600 of donations for the food. So we started with two just to kind of get it going. We're at 600. So hopefully more money comes in as this moves along. So far, is great. I am very grateful. This is actually turning out a little bit better. This is actually turning out a lot better than I expected. And we also have a cash jar. And believe it or not, this thing is full of cash. As you guys can see, we've had three people donate: Henry, Ace Tire Road Assistance, and one of our customers, which is Jose's dad, Unlimited Fit's dad. He came in, dropped off a donation, so we're very thankful. That money is going to get used to buy more toys. Me and Jose are going to go out and shop around for toys. We're going to shoot a video for you guys to see that, where we spend all the money. I don't care for a single dollar out of that jar. We're actually going to put in 100 out of our pocket from the shop, and we're going to do another 100 from Unlimited Fit to add more to the cookie jar. So with that being said, I want to say thank you guys very much for all your support. This year has been great. We've been doing more events. We've been hanging out with our friends, doing more things when we're out and about. We did the gun shooting. We went off-roading twice. And, I want to start having more activities with the family as well, so we can record them and show you guys the experience. I throw in random videos of screen printing and me working on the cars. So I like that my channel is a little bit more well put together in that sense. So you can see everything that I'm involved in. Right now, we're still active on our Airbnb, and we have plans for the future on our real estate venture with JV Investments. So I have Bless the Barrio. We have the YouTube merch that's dropping next week that I'm going to make a specific video about because we are ready. We have Vega Print. We have JV Investments. We have, what else do I have going on? My YouTube channel and obviously my social media accounts. So for everybody that's been watching, I appreciate the comments. I do read the comments and I reply, as you guys can see. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. We have been wanting to reach the 10,000 subscriber mark. We wanted to reach it by the end of this year. I don't see it happening because we are almost there. The end of the year is only a couple of weeks away from now. So it's okay. We're still working on that. We're doing the best that we can to bring you the information so that you guys can know either how to do what we do, ask questions if you want to learn, and inspire you to do whatever it is that you're involved in. So let's push it further. Let's subscribe to the channel. Help us out. Please drop a comment if you're watching this video, and we'll check you out in the next one. I cannot wait for the video where we're buying the toys, and I cannot wait for the video of the event when we're giving away the toys. So thank you for watching. Have a good one. Peace out.